And hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nico. I'm a dev advocate and community manager here at FetchAI, and I'm joined by one of our core developers, Aditya Rout. We're going to be showcasing everything about the FetchAI wallet, as well as the automations and features that exist up until this point. We decided that this is going to be a bit of a great kind of way to both showcase the actual utility that people can gain through the wallet, as well as just drive curiosity and engagement with the wallet itself. With that being said, we've gone through a period of rapid iterations in the FetchAI wallet. The browser extension wallet has gone from version 0.4 to version 10. Right? So we've effectively iterated about 6 times, with the final 2 iterations being both feature heavy as well as backend optimization heavy. And we've reached a point where the FetchAI wallet, we believe, is stable, feature rich, and can actually compete, right? As not only as a wallet, but also as not only as a device that allows you to append transactions to digital ledgers, but also as a product that offers you much more than that. Canonically, and certainly throughout the history of the industry, wallets have been predominantly passive. People would send a transaction to their own wallet, and people would use their wallets to sign a transaction. And once they see that their funds are in their wallet, they wouldn't really touch them. Certainly, not with any real degree of intensity, right? And the whole hodler mentality, I think, is encapsulated in that that behavioral cycle where people send the transaction, then they leave their funds, and that's really that's pretty much the bottom line. Naturally, as if we expect any sort of real uptick in adoption globally, wallets would need to become much less of a passive tool and much more of an active one. And this is certainly how we reason about wallets here at FetchAI. With that being said, I'd like to sort of hand over the torch to Aditya to introduce himself and to showcase sort of what it is that an active wallet would look like.
Thanks, Nico, for the introduction. Hi everyone. So my name is Aditya, and I'm one of the core devs at Fetch.ai, and mostly I look after the Fetch wallet. So we it was only last year where we started active development on the wallet. So basically, we wanted a tool where we can, leverage our Fetch.ai network, where we can stake and, earn rewards. That was the motivation behind Fetch Wallet, and it was forked from Kepler. And gradually, we realized that there's a lot of scope and um, development areas that we can target, which would certainly benefit a lot of the users that are not only using the Fetch network, but they're also using Web3 and the Cosmos ecosystem in general, right? I don't want to limit only to Cosmos, but rather we're also looking to expand gradually to more EVM-based chains and different kinds of networks going ahead. So today I will mostly be focusing on how we are kind of making the wallet as a one-stop solution for interacting with the Fetch network. As of now, we're starting with Fetch, and then gradually we'll increase and go to more networks. So you can think about agents, interacting with agents. You can think about in-wallet staking, governance that we usually go to the Explorer. But if all of that is part of the wallet, it's like a one-stop solution into the whole ecosystem. So let me just quickly share my screen. Is it good? Can you see my Chrome?
Yep, everything is a-okay now.
Awesome. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So this is basically the Fetch wallet, and you can see it pretty much looks similar to Kepler, because it's far from it, but gradually we are in the process of going away from Kepler, but at the same time, not forget our roots. So we keep on always syncing Kepler features and keep on adding our features on top of it. So what I want to actually showcase in this particular demo is the interaction with agents and the messaging feature that we have. So when you first join chat, so you can see there's a chat section, and here you can either talk to people or you can talk to agents. Um, so let's try and talk to a few people first, just to warm things up. So I'll like message Nico. I can message, hey Nico, how are you doing? Um, so Nico must have gotten a message. If you have, Nico,
Yep.
feel free to reply to
Yep.
me in your
Yep.
own time.
Message. Hey, hey. All is well is really what I'm going to say.
Awesome,
And you should see that
awesome,
message happen.
awesome.
Yep.
So yeah, this is like a basic messaging that you can do with people. And then what you can also do is create a group chat. What I'll do is I'll create let's say government proposal discussion forum. I'll just go with discussion. You can add your, and I'll add Ed and Nico, view it, and I can create a group chat. So welcome guys to this group chat. And it's all the messages are end-to-end encrypted. So all the messages that you send to people, it can only be seen by the sender and the target. So anyone who has the private key of that wallet can see the message. So anyone outside, not even Fetch, can view the message. So everything is end-to-end encrypted, and you can basically talk as you do on Discord and everything. But the major motivation behind having a messaging protocol inside the wallet is that you can not only interact with people, but you can have actual communication with real-time agents. So to demonstrate what we have done is we have created a micro agent called Fetchbot, which is pretty capable. So it is not only intelligent, but it can handle quite a few automations as well. So I'll showcase that. And we have this neat little deviation where you can see your chats with people, and then you can see your communication with agents as a separate thing. And we want to create that divide, but at the same time, we want people to understand that agents are also people at the end of the day, right? Which we have configured. So yeah, so this is Fetchbot. I'll just ask it, hello, what are you capable of, right? So a fun little message. Let's see what it responds with. So what we have done is we have leveraged LLMs. You have multiple LLMs, you have open source, and you have things like ChatGPT, you have Bard, and all of that. And we have trained the whole FetchAI documentation, the FetchAI website, and Fetchbot is capable to answer questions based on that. So you can see, so what are you capable of? I'm capable of answering questions, relevant information. It just said customer service, education, and healthcare, anything you name it, right? So yeah, so it just said what it's capable of. I'll just ask it what is Fetch.ai. Should also be able to answer this. Let's give it some time. So yeah, it responded with FetchAI is a decentralized digital infrastructure platform that uses intelligence, blockchain to creation of autonomic agents and the usual. I mean, it is trained to answer all of these questions, and you can also provide feedback to us if you actually liked it or you dislike the answer, and it will help improve it. Um, you can also ask it a lot of things that are more precise, like how to stake in a fetch validator, let's say. The things that you would actually do, like you would go to docs.fetch.ai and you'll have to search your way around to actually understand that. But if you just ask Fetchbot, it should respond. Hopefully it does. Yeah, here it is. So in detail, you have all the steps, log into your Fetch wallet. On the wallet dashboard, select stake and gives you all the steps. And apart from that, it also like shares me the link, which will give me more information. So this is the docs link, which you would have to search manually, but now you get all the information here. So you can ask it anything. What is the, let's say, micro agent? It should be able to answer that as well. Let's see. Yeah, so yeah, micro agents are a subset of capabilities of AEAs and are implemented as a light Python library. And you get all these details. You also get a link if you want to know more. It guides you to the correct place where you can look for more. So these are a few capabilities. You can ask it any other question as well, like what is cricket, let's say, what it responds with. Sorry. It should respond with uh, this is not related to Fetch.ai. It just lets you know that will not be much helpful, but however, it does provide more information to you as well. So yeah,
Just a quick interjection on my end, Frankie. I can see you raising your hand, but this works exactly like Twitter Spaces sessions do. So if I invite you to speak, I would love to do that towards the end. So just pencil down that question you have, and I would gladly come back to you towards the end of the demo.
uh, thanks, Iko. So yeah, so you have all the information you want. You can ask it anything about Fetch. To be specific, you can ask it anything apart from Fetch, but it's more helpful if you ask it about Fetch because it is finely tuned to answer based on that. You can try to ask it more complicated stuff, like you know, things like will the price of FET increase? Right? People could ask that, and we don't want to like we don't want the users to be misleaded or anything, and we have trained the fetchbot to answer in such a way that it doesn't do it. Right? So it says that I'm sorry, I cannot predict future price movements. As an AI language model, I'm not capable. However, you can find more information on FET and its use cases, everything. So people can't should not be able to use it as a uh, in a bad way, I would say, trying to understand the price of FET, trying to understand the inner workings of the fetch team and everything, so that they can do something that is not suitable for the community, right? So yeah, and you can also have fun. You can say explain uh, fetch what fetch AI does. Like I am a 5-year-old. I'm just having fun at this point. I've never actually asked this question, but let's see what it returns. Okay, so Fetch is a computer program that helps other computers make decisions without needing humans. It's like having a really smart friend who can help you figure out what to do next. Well, pretty pretty close, I would say. That's how I would explain it to a 5-year-old, but yeah, it tried it best. So this is like one aspect of capabilities of agents that the wallet helps explore. You can create agents that does so you have this AI wave coming up where people can book airplane tickets using AI and chat GPT and everything. So you can create agents for it, and the wallet becomes your point of interaction where you can actually interact with those agents to get work done, right? So yeah, it will all be customizable. So to showcase some of the automations, we have also support some slash commands. So you can either click on slash or you can click on this button. So you have quite a few automations that you can do. So these automations, so for example, this is transfer FAT. You can do transfer FAT here. You can click on the send button and add on the recipient. But if you want a more chat-based experience, you can very well do that as part of the automation. So you ask Fetchbot that I want to transfer some FAT. It says, who would you like to send the test FAT to? Let me get the address of Nico. I'll send some FAT to Nico here. Space that. What amount? I would say I would go with 0.1 FAT. I just signed the transaction here because that's what you
You
need
could
to
have been
do.
a bit more. You could have been a bit more generous.
I don't have a lot of test FAT. So yeah, you can see transaction sent, transaction succeeded. So you just had a conversation with the agent and the transaction is done. So it's more user friendly as compared to the button. People, it's up to the choice of people what they prefer. But yeah, it's just another way to do it. You have other things like send asset, which is similar to transfer FAT, but you can actually send a CW20 asset as well. So you can select here what kind of asset you want to send. So for example, this is a CW20 token. You can click on proceed. Who would you like to send tokens? I will again send it to Nico and I would transfer 10. You can see the beauty behind having a conversation based thing is we clarify a lot of things. So we try that people don't get confused as to what is expected from them, which is very much possible. So that's what this conversation based automation helps you achieve. And you click on sign transaction. You can also see all the details here to check whether the right things are happening. So yes, I'm transferring to Nico, and this is the amount. I click on approve, and that should send the transaction, and hopefully it's successful as well. Another cool thing is IBC transfer. So it's usually very confusing, but I'll try to showcase, how you can do IBC transfers. So here we explain, please select the IBC channel or create a new one. We also explain how you can create a new channel. And we say, okay, you can go to this link and create a channel, because if you go to the actual IBC transfer, you don't know what to do here, right? Okay, there's a select chain, there's a new IBC transfer channel. I select osmosis. Now what? What do I do? I have no clue at all, right? But if you go here with the agent, you can select the chain. You can give a new IBC channel, but here you have more information on how you can fetch IBC channels. So if you go here, you can see these are the IBC relays. I want to transfer some FAT to, let's say, osmosis. This is the channel. Channel 10 is the, you can see it's the channel 10. So I go here and I can simply type osmosis and then channel 10. Oops, it's 229. Sorry. Oh, my bad. It's on Dorado. It's not on Fetch Hub. My bad. Let's see. Let's go to Solar testnet, hopefully. Channel 6. So the link we provided, it's for mainnet, obviously, because you don't usually do IBC transfers on testnet. But for showcasing purposes, I can do it on testnet as well. So I selected the IBC channel, I select the token, and yeah, who would you like to send the tokens to? I would send to this address, my own. Let's go back to testnet, chat. Oh, damn. Oh, now it's okay. Okay, I paste the auxiliary address. Common tokens, I'll go with 0.1. Sign the transaction. You can see it's IBC transfer to this on channel 6. And when I sign the transaction, should descend and it should be successful as well. Hopefully it is. So let's quickly just check it. Take some time to reflect. But let's see. That should be here. Yeah. I've previously transferred, but it's showing up. Channel 25, test FET is on this. So these are some straightforward transactions that you can do on by using, just conversation. Another cool thing that you can do is an automation called auto compound, which is like, we believe it's one of the true capabilities of agents to act automatically or without any human intervention. So you find yourself staking in various validators. So you have to claim your rewards and you then restake it. So what we did is we created an automation where all of this happens automatically for you. All you have to do is, set it up. So let's go and click on create an auto compounding automation. So it just shares you all the things. I'm happy to help you set up an auto compounder. First, I'll ask for duration, then I'll ask for the time interval, how frequently your restaking will happen. If you already have stake, I'll ask you to select the validator. Otherwise, I'll give you a link with all the list of the validators you want to stake in. Finally, I will ask you to sign a transaction that authorizes the Fetchbot to do transactions for you. So yeah, this is the first question. So I would say something like 2 days. I want the auto compounding to run, and auto compounding should run every, let's say, 10 hours. And I already have stake with these validators. So what I can do is auto compound rewards for just one validator, individual ones, or I can type all, and all of my validator rewards will be automatically getting restaked, right? So you get your compound interest, and you don't have to, you just sleep at night and all of this happens by the agent. So I selected all, I sign a transaction. These will be 2 grand transactions that the Fetchbot will be able to withdraw rewards on your behalf, and then it should be able to restake those rewards. So these are the 2 grand transactions that you do. You prove it, and the transaction is signed. Hopefully, it is successful as well. Give it a second. Yeah, so authorization is succeeded. I'll be auto compounding your stake for 2 days. And it should withdraw and restake my rewards as well. Let's see. It does.
Did you give it a 10-hour restake interval?
I did. It should auto stake. Okay, it will stake after 10 hours. Let's say, yeah.
It
It will
looks
do
like,
the
yeah.
yeah. So we did change that. My bad. And what you can also do is if you want to cancel this anytime you want, you can go ahead and cancel the automation and it will cancel it. And another way to view all of this is you can go to the home page. There's this OddZ section where you can see all of the delegations that you have done. So I've authorized the Fetchbot to do any transaction. You can view it all here, and you can also revoke it anytime you want. So you can just click on revoke, and Fetchbot now doesn't have access to your staked amounts to be able to do it. So you have full control of it, and it will do what you say. So this is what we have currently in the official wallet. And this also gave us ideas for more automations that people might find it useful. So I'll give a couple of examples as to what's coming up. It's still in development stage, but it will be mostly released next week. So let's give it a try. As you can see, there are a couple of more cool ones. One is recurring payments and one is recurring stakes. So if you want to make periodic payments to a particular address and you want that to happen automatically, the agent or Fetchbot is going to do it for you. If you want stakes to happen, let's say once every month, you can set this automation up, and every month, let's say first of every month, your staking will happen automatically. You just have to maintain funds in your account, and the rest will be taken care of by the Fetchbot. So let's go ahead and set up a recurring payments automation. So it walks you through what will happen, and then you can say, okay, this automation should go for 30 days. And I want to transfer funds every day. And then a very simple question is if you want the first transfer to happen now, send 1. Or if you want the first transfer to happen after 1 days, excuse the grammar, send 0. So I want my first transfer to happen now, so I just send 1. Who would you like to send the tokens to? Let me just again fetch Nico's address. Whoops, it's I think here the official one. Yeah, there it is. I'll just paste this. For a pound of tokens, I want to transfer Nico 0.1 FET every day. And then I do a OddZ grant transaction, which is I give the Fetchbot send permission to be able to send tokens to Nico on my behalf. Right? So I approve it. And the authorization has succeeded. Recurring transfer active for 30 days. And yeah, the first transfer happened immediately. Auto payment succeeded. Payment is this much. Recipient is Nico. I can see all the details here that it got succeeded. Yeah, you can see. Okay, so that is one. You can also set up a recurring stake. So let's quickly set up one, which should be the last of the automations that we want to showcase. Very similar. Let's say I would go with 40 days again. I'll go with every 2 days. I want to stake in a certain validator. Again, the question is, when do you want the first stake to happen? So I want it to happen now. So I just send 1 and enter the address of the validator. You can see a list of active validators here. So I go here and I can just fetch the validator address. This, and I'll go with 0.1. This is the amount I want to stake every 2 days. I give the authorization. That is signed, authorization is succeeded, and your recurring stake is active for 30 days. Every 2 days, 0.1 FET will be staked into the validator I selected. So you can see instantly staking was done, and every 2 days, you will get the messages that auto staking succeeded. Hopefully, you get the message because it could fail if you don't have funds or there was some issue with the RPC or anything like that. But we do have retry mechanisms, which will retry. But yeah, you will get the messages in case it succeeded or in case it failed. You'll get an honest message from Fetchbot as to what happened after 2 days, after 4 days, and gradually like that. So yeah, so this is like the basic set of automations that we currently support, and this is like scratching the surface of what Fetchbot or agents are capable of. This is like the first versions of what's there, and going ahead, once we start supporting in-app staking and in-app governance, you can do a whole lot of things, and you can automate a whole lot of things using Fetchbot. You can also create your own agents capable of doing things, and you can use the wallet to communicate with that agent and set your tasks, like book my flight tickets or do all of that, and you'd never know how far AI goes, to be fair. So yeah, hopefully you guys like the demo, and any questions, feel free to just ask it. Thank you, guys. That's all from my end. Nico, do you have anything from your side?
We have a lot of questions, so
Oh,
you can go ahead. Yep. You went ahead and stopped the screen sharing. So yeah, we have actually a few questions in the side chat that I'd like to go through. However, first, Frankie, if you're still here and if you're still listening, now is a great time to raise your hand. Yep, and I'll invite you as a speaker. All right, invite to speak once again. Frankie, you're it. There you
Hey, so I had a question. I was talking to Maria about this. Um, let's say I wanted to make my own micro agent available for people to use. How would I go? Like, what is the user interface slash user experience for that, right? Because once I build it, how do I get it out there?
you want to make your own agent, you have two options there. You can make a sovereign agent or a platform agent. Platform agents are ones that we're only making ourselves. So you're going to have to make your own sovereign agent. What you're going to have to do is go to docs.fetch.ai and click on getting started, and that'll give you a sequence of, I would say, tasks mixed with educational tutorials, mixed with documentation on how to actually create an agent, what sort of Python virtual environment you need. And yeah, so you basically download the micro agents Python package, you set up your virtual environment, you run 3 commands, and you can create your agent.
Right.
It's
I can get that done now. I have that done. It's more so about the
yeah.
distribution of that to the everyday crypto enthusiast. Like I wanted to, the same way how you guys built your decentralized DEX, I wanted to do that, but for lending.
If you want to do that for lending, then what you're going to want to do is understand the actual lending and borrowing process that you're looking to automate, and then figure out which part of that process should be agent based and which part of that shouldn't be agent based. And from then on, you want to make 2 agents. Let's call them well, in our case, most likely 3 agents, but let's say you have a lender agent and a borrower agent, right? Or just a lender agent or a liquidator agent, right? There's a bunch of roles there that the agents are going to play. Each agent is going to have its own business logic. So what you want to do is you want to have either a detailed description of the logic of the agent or pseudocode or the actual code itself. And then the agents would simply communicate with one another. In our case, we had to create the agent search mechanism, which allowed agents to fight each other in a DeFi context and to search and discover buyers and sellers and to match them, right? And in this context, you're going to want to make I would say a tweaked version, a modified version of that agent search mechanism. So what I would suggest is that you drop me a message. I think if you have a more complicated use case and there's layers that we need to go through, I'm probably not going to be able to give you an expansive answer and kind of onboard you within this one call within a minute or two. But I'd love to do it outside of the call. So that being said, any other questions?
Well, to come back, I understand like how to build it. I guess again, what I'm trying to get at is right. Once I have the agents built, how do I distribute those agents to people to use in a decentralized manner? Like with Aave, right? If someone wants to lend to Aave, they go click on the buttons on Aave's website, send money to a smart contract, boom, boom, bam, done. How do I give somebody a lender agent? How do I give somebody a borrow agent? How do I, you know?
So I can pitch in here. So
Yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, you have a couple of options there. You can create an UI like Aave. So you have so every agent, every micro agent, has endpoints that is accessible by the user. You can call it, you can submit data and all of that. So you create the UI, and basically people can then interact with the agents using that UI. You can also leverage the wallet, like I showcase right now. People can, send messages to agents, and by messages I mean not only simple messages, but they can also send customizable data, right? So if I want to say that, okay, I want to borrow 10 FET and I want to give 20 USDT as collateral, I type that message in a way, and then that message is relayed to your agent, and then agent works on it and acts on that behalf. So yeah, it can be, you can go either way. Um, but the wallet use case is quite good because all of the signing and all of those kind of stuff is already integrated in the wallet, so it could be a bit more seamless. But a lot of people in DeFi could also prefer doing it from the UI because that's how they usually do it. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Alrighty then. I'm gonna take that as the question was answered. I'm gonna go back to chat. Aditya, there's a couple of questions for you here. Number one, I think I can actually answer this one. So when will the agent be available for Ledger, in your opinion? Well, first of all, we had a little bit of Ledger connectivity challenges that we solved, and they're great. If you have a Ledger and you're using the FetchAI browser extension wallet, you can also use all of these features. There's no barrier there. You just simply connect your Ledger to the FetchAI browser extension wallet, and then open either the notifications tab or the chat feature. And then within the chat feature, you can go ahead and either select an automation or simply use the Fetchbot. I don't know if a deeper integration with Ledger is possible right now. I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of technical questions if we want to make that a truly seamless process. So I'm not gonna answer that question.
It
I
just
think that yeah.
one thing, sorry to interrupt, Nico. So one thing I would like to add here is um so the ledger support. I mean, we had ledger connectivity issues, those are solved. So you can do all of the things in the wallet, but there is actually a bit more complicated stuff going on when it comes to the messaging protocol that we're supporting, and the ledger currently does not support that. And we are kind of working behind the
Oh,
scenes to be able to support the messaging protocol as part of the wallet. So yeah, just one
I
clarification
see.
on that. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, yeah, and that's that's the messaging protocol that the agents are using to try to communicate with the wallet
Yeah,
itself. Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
But it's coming
Fair
pretty
point.
soon. It's not far away. We're pretty close to achieve that.
Well then, Hash, it's pretty soon. It's not far away. That's the best we can give you without publicly committing ourselves to a deadline. And I love those questions. All right, next question is from Make My Day. Make My Day is asking us, I would like to know more about the backend and security side of the integration. As a plugin for, is it done as a plugin for Chrome? What security measures are implemented and how credentials are stored? There's a lot to unpack here, so let's just go ahead and assume that Make My Day is asking us about how are agents integrated into the wallet themselves. They're not in the wallet. You have a chat feature that's part of the wallet, and you have agents that are able to communicate both with other agents as well as other kind of endpoints. And in that sense, your agent isn't being hosted within the wallet itself. Your agent, you're communicating with an agent that, if I'm not mistaken, we are hosting. Is that right, Aditya?
Yes, yes, it's hosted separate from the wallet, has its own
Exactly.
backend.
It's hosted separately for your wallet. And agents also have their own public and private key pair, which is why you need to give it access permissions to be able to sign some transactions for you. And with that being said, I think there's more there, which is Aditya, can you walk people through the security measures that we've implemented and how credentials are stored?
Yeah, sure. We won't go into much details around the agent hosting because that's a whole different. I mean, that's a pretty big topic in itself. But what
Yeah.
I can share is the security aspect that we kind of follow from the wallet perspective and the messaging protocol perspective. So all the agents, you can view them as individual entities. So they have their capabilities, they have business logic, and they're hosted somewhere. So let's say this Fetchbot agent is hosted by us, and all the credentials of the Fetchbot is managed by us, right? So what effectively happens when you're communicating with this Fetchbot, it's an end-to-end encrypted message. So you send an encrypted message to an agent, and only the agent can basically decrypt it, and only the agent can view what the message is. So yeah, you basically view the message, the agent views the message, acts on the message, and then responds with another encrypted message which only you can see, nobody else can, because it is encrypted using your public key. So that's the end-to-end encryption we kind of follow to ensure that everything is secure. The communication with Fetchbot is secure, and you're not giving any sensitive data. So what you're effectively, the maximum that you're doing is giving Fetchbot kind of an authorization. Okay, you are authorized to spend this much amount of money to stake, right? You can stake one FET every day and stake on my behalf, and you always have the control to revoke it. It's not like and you have all the control of the amount that you grant and the um, let's say the frequency that you want or the duration you want. Everything is controlled by you and is revocable by you. So that's the major security thing and the control that we provide to the users.
All righty then. Thank you very much, Aditya. We have one more question, which is, so agents will be able to send payment requests to wallets. Yes, if you have an agent and you know the wallet you're looking to send the payment request to, then you can get a payment request. Am I able to receive some kind of hook that the payment was successful? Yes, you are able to receive alerts that the payment was successful, although that's not a native feature. You might have to build that depending on, you might have to add a little bit on top of that. So the native confirmation of a secure payment is checking the block explorer, right? You're not going to get an alert anywhere. It's not going to be like a pop-up notification. However, a notifying system that allows you to kind of to signal that a payment has been processed, or that a payment request has been received is possible. So if you want to receive a notification on your website, or you want to receive a notification on your dApp or a wallet, then um, where you need to look at is the block explorer, and if you want to have a service that does that, or you want to build a service that does that, then you want to build a service that looks at the block explorer, and depending on the sort of what it finds there, depending on the indexed query, gives you some sort of some cue, right? Some sound or some message or a mix of both. But building a notification is very possible, a notification system. That's I answered that. Hash is yes to both. Chat isn't available. Yes, we kind of went through that. So in general, Crypto.ai is asking us, so in general, an agent can have permission and looks like you can revoke them like we do with Google accounts. Aditya, is that kind of the analogy we're looking for? Can we revoke permissions just like we can revoke? Yep.
Yeah,
Seems like you can
that's
do
completely
exactly that.
that's a great analogy, and we kind of took inspiration from Kepler as well, where so Kepler came up with this idea of showing ODC transaction on the dashboard, and it kind of aligned with what we were doing from an agent perspective. So any grant or authorization that you give to the agent, you can revoke it anytime you want.
Lovely. Well, you know what? It wasn't a question, Crypto.ai, but it added value to the conversation, and that's what we're here for. We have a question by Wally. Are we planning to let people add custom agents to interact with the wallet? We would love it if people would make as much custom agents as possible. We don't have to allow anything. The barrier to entry there is people wanting to make an agent that interacts with anything. So you can interact with a block explorer, with a wallet. It can interact with a decentralized application, a physical product, another agent. You name it. It's really, the possibilities are endless. Yes, I think that as more and more agent-based applications emerge, we're going to have kind of like a lane or channeling system, or we would make it, if two agents kind of communicate intensely, we're going to optimize that process. But in order for someone to add an agent to the wallet, they'll likely need to fork the wallet, and they'll need to build an agent, and then they'll need to launch that as a separate wallet